Hi everyone, welcome to Beyond the Evidence. This is the channel where justice matters. My name is Marv. I am a true crime fanatic, and I love to dig deeper into the mysteries of unsolved cases. Join me as we search for missing persons, uncover the clues in unsolved murders, follow along with jury trials, and we'll be a voice for the voiceless. I'll share with you the facts, the theories, the clues, the evidence, and the controversies that surround these cases. This is Beyond the Evidence. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? I'm hoping so. Hey, Jill, how are you? Hey, Andrea. Andrea just left me a little bit ago. She took my egg salad with her. Hi, Misty Free Spirit. How are you? Oh, awesome. Well, as you can see, I'm not in my normal place. I'm actually in Indiana. And Andrea and I did a little bit of grocery shopping just a little bit ago. And funny story, hasn't happened to me until today, but I'm in the grocery store shopping, and all of a sudden I hear my name being yelled out, and I'm like, where's it coming from? Who is it? I don't get it. Who called my name? And Andrea comes behind me, and she's gonna protect me. And Yolanda was in the same grocery store in the same little city that we were in, so I got to see her and give her a hug. So that was very nice. Surprising at the same time, hearing my name in a grocery store in Indiana. But I am here. I got in at about 3 o'clock this afternoon. So did some visiting, and like I said, got some groceries for the week, and I will be here till Friday. But I wanted to come online. It's been a while with me being sick, and then 4th of July, which was my birthday, and spending some time with the kids and family. I'm like, I got to get online and talk to everybody. So this is my first live back since being sick for over a week and a half. Didn't plan to be gone that long, that's for sure. Hey, Carly, how you doing? Yeah, I got a haircut. My hair grows really fast, so I decided to get it cut a little bit shorter this time, because in about 3-4 weeks, it'll be where it's supposed to be. And it's very hot here in Indiana compared to Wisconsin. I don't know about everybody else, but Wisconsin has been getting a lot of rain. So much so that we have our driveway has been flooding over. There's no more room for water to go. Andrew says, we about threw down in the grocery store. Can't take us nowhere. Yep. Hey, Andrea, bring me back my egg salad. It's a big joke. She doesn't like egg salad. She happened to reach into the cart to get her stuff and paid for my egg salad, which I'm really appreciative of. But I need that back so I can eat it. So I'm just picking on her, giving her a hard time for taking my egg salad. Good thing I have some lunch meat. Hello, Mark. Can't wait to meet up with you while I'm here. You're bringing me that nasty stuff tomorrow? All right. Good to see you. How are you? So I just wanted to come on tonight and chat with all of you. Um, Even though I've been sick and with the holidays and spending time with family, I've done a lot of research on cases, and so I'm going to do some lives from some specific areas this week from Indiana. Um, and then and then when I get home, I'm going to start up my lives on all these stories that I've told you about, that were coming. Poor Timothy Pitson. I kept trying to get his going and haven't had the chance. His is coming. I've done research on Summer Moon. I've done research on Michael Monkey Vaughn. Hi, Owl in the Prowl. You're checking in. You have to go to work. Oh, I hope you have a good night at work. Mark. Yep, thanks. About gagged when I opened the the bag. Yeah. Yes, I am okay, Owl in the Prowl. My husband and I both got sick after he got back from his work trip. I don't know what he brought back home with him. Um, but he started out getting sick. I got sick, and then he got sick again after I got better. So we had nothing planned for the 4th, which we always plan something. And nothing got planned because we were sick pretty much a week and a half to 2 weeks before that. Celebrated the 4th with the family. The next day on the 5th, my husband and I went off on our own and went to the casino, and I lost money. I just needed to get out of the house. I was so sick of being stuck in the house between being sick and him getting sick and trying to get him to be better. So, and the kids working and staying away from us. So, yeah, thankfully they did not get sick, which is a good thing. Oh, thank you, Marv. I've been looking for you around. Yes. Madalena, she's coming up. Mom left for Romania this week. Oh no. So her story is one that I have been researching. That is a story that's coming up. I've got several coming for you guys. I know the last video I put out was of Bryson Mier from Logansport. I do have an update on that case tonight. They did find him at the compound with his parents at 6:00 in the morning when they raided it. And both the mother and father have been arrested. They had their bail hearing, and the judge denied them bail because they are a flight risk. So I'm glad that he's been found. DCFS is involved. The father is saying some pretty nasty things about him. And I don't know if it's true or not, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Yes, Mark, you drive home safely. Hey, Jinx, how you doing? So, I am back. I promise. I hope I'm not going to get sick for a long, long time, because I think that was almost worse than COVID. I can honestly say that. And so hopefully no more sicknesses for a while. I'm done. I told my husband to stop sharing. So this is a busy month for me. I am here in Indiana until Friday. In the meantime, I'm trying to find somebody that has kayaks or a canoe or boat or something in Two Rivers. There's an area by the water that I would like to search. So I need to put elderberries. That's a good idea. I'm looking for somebody in Two Rivers that has one of these items that can either take us or let us borrow it for the day, um, so that we can search the water over by in Shockton where the Girl Scout camp is. I still think that's an area that needs to be searched entirely. So, yes, need to come visit. So, yes, I am on the mean streets of Rushville, Indiana. It's very, very nice out here, nice and quiet. But I was told not to go outside at night because there is a skunk and I don't need to get sprayed. But as I'm talking to you, have a good night, Owl on the Prowl. As I'm talking to you, I'm looking out the front window and I'm seeing all the lightning bugs light up the yard. So that's cool. So that is very cool. So there's so many things happening right now, you guys. It's not even funny with these cases. We've got another 12-year-old, Madeline, that I'm looking into her case. Was unalived by two illegal immigrants. So I'm going to be bringing that one to you. I have been following what's going on today with the Karen Reed case. For any of you that have been watching that and what the jurors said, and I think there was some issues in that jury room. And that they should have found her not guilty on counts 1 and 3 for sure, by what the jurors are saying. So we have to find out what is going to happen with that. I don't know what they're going to do, but we'll find out. I'm kind of thinking Judge Bev is shaking in her boots. Just a little bit. Yeah. So then the weekend I get home is the weekend that I want to go to Two Rivers and search for Elijah. The following weekend, I have to take my sister for her class reunion from high school. And then the end of this month, I am taking the kids on a small getaway to Minnesota to see one of their plays. So the weekends are kind of filled here. And then the weeks are going to be filled with live streams, videos, things like that. There is so much going on in all of the cases. I mean, Idaho 4, major things happening there with Brian, and documents being released. I haven't had a chance to look into those yet, but I certainly am going to look into them. And you've got Richard Allen's hearings coming up the end of July. I wish I could have come then, but I had already made plans and bought tickets and paid for a hotel. So I'm sure I'll be doing some live streams from the hotel room that weekend to let you know about the hearings and what Judge Gull is going to decide. So we all know that when Judge Gull has hearings, she doesn't always talk about what she's supposed to. So I know that there's gonna be a hearings on the Franks motions. Um, there's gonna be a hearing on the motion of Lamine. Who knows what else they're gonna get into at the end of this month. I mean, there's a lot of things that are still up in the air, and she has to make a decision once and for all as to what she's going to allow the defense to do and what she's not. And so we're going to have to wait and see. Delphi is a big waiting game right now until she decides what she's going to do. Hi, Susie. How are you? There's a family out of Indiana, and I have to find it here. I know that Andrea put it on the Facebook group. Why can't I find it, Andrea? There it is. So, from my understanding, this family is out of Indianapolis. The father and mother lost custody of their 3 children. The 3 children were in foster care. Well, something happened, and the parents took those 3 children out of the foster care and ran with them. So now the whole family is missing. And their names are Willie Terrell, Jessica Terrell, and their 3 children, Frankie, age 4, Queen, age 3, and King, age 1. Were last seen at 12:36 p.m. Thursday in Indianapolis. So I'm going to post this. This is in the Facebook group, but I'm also going to put this on the Beyond the Evidence just Facebook page. I'm also starting to put a lot of the missing people on the Facebook page instead of the Facebook group, because you can share from the page versus the Facebook group. So, silver alert issued for family of 5 missing from Indianapolis. It was issued Friday night for a family of 5, including the 3 kids. Missing are the husband, wife, and their 3 kids. Police think they believe the children are in extreme danger and may require medical aid. Willie Terrell is 5 feet 5 inches tall and 180 pounds. He's bald and has brown eyes. Jessica Terrell is 5 feet 5 inches tall and 150 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. And it gives descriptions for all 3 kids. And they're asking anyone with information to contact the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department. Like I said, I will get more information on this and get this out on the community page and the Beyond the Evidence Facebook page. Because we definitely have to find those kids. This week I'm going to have an update on Elijah Vu's case, on Baby Amaya's case. That is a heartbreaking case, and I don't know that we're going to actually get justice for Baby Amaya. Yeah, I'll post it to the YouTube community page too. Absolutely. Um, we know that the mother's boyfriend was charged and he was sentenced. He got quite a few years. Unfortunately, the mother didn't. She got out of jail, in fact. And it's sad because we still haven't found baby Amaya. There's no real justice for her, which is so sad. Um, I'm also going to be doing starting next week a sequence of missing individuals from different states, but I'm going to focus on some of the Wisconsin, more individuals in the Wisconsin area and Indiana and Tennessee, because Tennessee's got a big issue with missing persons. There's a lot of missing people from Tennessee right now. Um, and we got to start finding these individuals. Um, it's just a nightmare with the amount of kids that are going missing and the amount of kids that are being unalived by either their parents, their guardians, or foster parents, anything like that. It's something's got to give, something's got to stop. We're seeing these cases come out in record numbers faster than we've ever seen before. And there's got to be a way to get people to notice these things before it gets to that point and make calls to help save these kids, because it's just breaking my heart. Let's see here. I'm just scrolling here, just trying to make sure that I covered all the ones that I wanted to cover tonight. Yep. All right. So how has everybody been? What have you guys been up to? Did you have a good 4th of July? I can see you, Boston Christian. That's another thing I got to do is catch up on emails. Love the haircut. I'm going tomorrow to get mine thinned out. I got mine thinned out. You should have seen all the hair on the floor. There was a lot because mine is thick. Mine is thick. Yes. And like I said, I got to cut a little bit short just so that in 3 weeks it will grow out and be where I want it to be. But at the same time, I can be comfortable. It's hot here. Hi, Melissa. How are you? Yep. Um, Andrea's 4th was interesting. They celebrated a few days early, and her son caught himself on fire. Oh, yeah. So, for all of you that know that I believe in afterlife and signs from spirits and things like that, you all know that Andrea lost her brother last August. And during their 4th of July get together before her son caught himself on fire, which I have to say he's okay. second-degree burns on his legs. He's a fireman, dropped and rolled, knew to do that. Um, but they lit these Chinese, lanterns. Now, this is different cities. Tipton versus Rucherville. And, only 2 lanterns actually went up in the air. Andrea's mom's and Andrea's nephew. High charismatically clever. Um, they are the only 2 lanterns that actually went up in the air and flew off. Um, today, one of those lanterns was found at her mother's place. And, this 2 different cities. Somebody's outside honking. That's kinda weird. So, when they let him go, they noticed that the 2 that actually went up in the air, were floating towards well, in the direction of Rucherville, from Tipton. But they never thought for a minute that they'd get here because there's all kinds of tall trees, things like that. Well, one of them made it here. Oh, Isaac probably okay, that makes sense. But so I thought that was neat. Yeah. And the weird thing about the lantern is it's all white. It's probably about yay big, you know, probably a little bit bigger than that. And the only one corner of it was burnt. The rest of it was fine. Oh, he better not be. Come find me, Noe. Good luck with that one. Um, Melissa, it is a nicotine vape. I quit smoking on Memorial Weekend. Um, so I've been vaping, and then I'm gonna try to quit vaping too. But I wanted to kind of kick the cigarettes first, and then um kick the nicotine. Noe is outside honking. Ha! Tell him to come find me. Hello, Fire and Ice. How are you? Andrea says, I will assemble the army. He better think twice. Well, if he can find me, that would be interesting. I heard he was in Kokomo last night looking for other people. So, yeah. Fire and Ice, are you doing a live tonight or no? Because I don't know which one of you are fire and which one is ice, but no, because Mark is dealing with the hurricane. Yes, he is, Melissa. You got that right. Got that right. So, what do you guys think is going to happen at the end of this month with these hearings for Delphi? Do you think that the defense is going to be able to use their Odinist theory, or is Judge Gull going to nix it? You do have an army in Kokomo. You could have done that. So once again, the question was, is Judge Gull, in your opinion, going to allow the defense to use the Odinist theory as the third party, or is she going to nix that? Is she going to say, no, you can't use that? Me personally, I think she's going to approve the motion of limine. And that means the Odinist theory for the defense is out. They're going to have to come up with something else. Just by the way of how she's been ruling in the past. I think she's going to give the prosecution whatever he wants and deny the defense again. But this time I'm hoping, like the defense asked for, she specifically states why she is denying things. That's how it should have been right from the beginning. Not just denied, but explain why she's denying it. Because that might help all of us understand what her thinking is. Well, but aren't they saying that BH and PW are Odinist? Oh, Melissa, I wish. Because I want to be able to watch it for myself. But I don't think she's going to. And I think the reason for that is because she's taken a lot of heat on this trial and people are watching her and she doesn't want them to see. Let me figure it out. 1 second. I am trying to figure out Uh-oh. Hang on. Okay. There I am. I cannot figure out how to get this to paste in here so that I can show you the link or give you the link. All right, 1 second. I got a backup. Tommy, I just put it in Discord for you. Um, I don't know if it's worth me driving down here, Boston, because the courthouse is so small and by the time you get all of the families in there, all the members of the families, his, Libby's family, Abby's family, Richard Allen's family, and then you put all the press in there, there's only going to be about 15 or 20 seats left. So there's not going to be a lot of common people even able to go into the courtroom and see it either. So I don't think that I am going to be coming for the trial. Tommy, if you're still in there, I put the link in Discord. There you are.
Hello.
Hello.
How are ya?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You just got to Indiana, you said?
Yeah, at about 3:00 this afternoon.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad you made it safe. How was the drive down?
Yesterday, going to Illinois, I stayed with some relatives last night. Traffic was a nightmare.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had a little road rage.
Oh, I bet. Indiana drivers are terrible.
The Illinois drivers.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I can't forget about them. Honorable mention. I guess Indiana would be second. Yeah, Illinois has some of the worst.
Yeah, I had a little bit of that today with Indiana. I can't remember where I was by, but it just started downpouring. And people like slammed on their brakes as we were going 75, 80 miles per hour on the highway
Oh, yeah,
because
that's
it
no good.
started to
That'll
rain.
get me mad.
And I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah, for no reason, too.
Exactly. I'm like, you can still drive, you know.
Sorry.
And then I was yelling at them to pull over in the slow lane so I could keep going, but they don't listen to me. Melissa says New Jersey has some of the worst drivers. Oh, I'm sure. So, Frosty, what do you think Judge Gull's going to do?
In terms of what?
Of all these motions that she's supposed to hear.
I don't think it's going to go very far. I can't even remember what she has to hear. It's been quiet the past like month or so. I don't think
she's
there's
going to
going to
hear
be.
the Frank's motion.
That's not going to go through. They haven't proved anything.
Yeah. And then she's going to hear the motion of Lamine with all the things that the prosecution doesn't want the defense to talk about.
Yeah, I think she's going to allow at least one of those things in. I would go with the Ron Logan angle. I think that's what they're going to allow in because it makes the most sense. The Odinist theory is kind of like a fairy tale, at least how it reads to me. Ron Logan is the most feasible.
You think as far as a third-party defense, they're going to be forced to go with the Ron Logan?
I think so, because the Odinist does it is like shoving a square peg in a round hole. So,
yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, but at least the Logan stuff you can kind of like make it make sense. But that's how I see it. I think no judge is going to look at the Odinist angle and take it very seriously. At least how I see it. So I think Logan has the best chance. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think?
Well, I thought they were going to go with Logan first.
I'm surprised they didn't. I will say that.
I really did. I don't know if it's because he's no longer here that they're not, or that they didn't.
I feel like it'd be easier. Not to sound messed up, but wouldn't it be easier to frame a deceased person?
Well, you can't cross-examine them or anything like that.
I guess that's true.
Everything is kind of up in the air with him.
Yeah, I mean,
You can't get him to confess.
I
Logan's
don't
going to be
know.
an issue.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't see I don't see the Odinist stuff going through. It seems like they've abandoned it now as we talk now.
It does seem like they're starting to, yes.
I don't know.
Somebody said that they're going to go and try to pin it on Greeno. I don't see that happening.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That would be something. That would not. That's just desperation at that point, I think.
Oh, yeah. But
I think Alan's cooked.
If you really think about what the defense has said, it's all about this third party stuff. They never denied the fact that it was Richard Allen there. The only thing they're stating is that the only difference the defense is making is that they say he was gone by 1:30.
Yeah, but that doesn't add
you know
up.
what? You know what? They say they have him driving on the Harvester camera.
Yeah, the defense concedes it as his car.
Right. So that should tell us when he left, right?
But then you have the girls who saw him after that car drove by the camera. That's a problem.
Correct.
That's a huge problem.
Right. You have him admitting to being on the bridge, watching fish. You have Betsy Blair stating that she saw him there. Well, the man that she thinks is bridge guy was on the bridge at that time, which Alan states he was. We know Betsy that when she turned around and went to walk back, she said she passed the girls, which means he was still on the bridge.
Yep. Wait, Betsy said she passed. Yeah, she did. Betsy was shown a photo of bridge guy and said, "Yeah, that's the guy I saw, and it's Alan." Like people are forgetting that. Well, Betsy Blair saw a young guy, but she also was shown the photo and said it was him, and that's
true.
That fits with the time of Alan. It's really hard to get at. It's hard to get out of. I don't think you can.
Well, and I think what I'm most looking forward to hearing in the evidence is, we haven't heard anything the prosecution has, and we've only heard the things that the defense has told us, but with no context.
Right.
Meaning there could be things before and after it that contradict what they're saying.
Oh, yeah.
They've never flat out, come and said it wasn't him there. It wasn't his car. They haven't said that. They're not saying anything about he hasn't confessed. They're just wanting to get things thrown out.
Yeah, they won't talk about certain. We were talking about this earlier. They won't talk about certain confessions. They won't talk about the recorded ones. They only talk about the ones that are wildly inaccurate, but they won't. If I was a defense attorney and I knew he was making false confessions, I would itemize every single confession, 1 through 30 or however many individually and say, but that's not what happened. So I think there's a lot of stuff in there that's a problem.
Right. I agree. And there is a lot of stuff. It just doesn't line up. It doesn't make sense. Like I said, they gave out little snippets of information here and there, put it in the context that they wanted us to have it in. But we don't know for sure what is before and after that and whether the context is correct. And I really want to know what the hell they took out of his house.
I've heard rumors of scriptures, not Bible scriptures, but like quotes from books. I've heard that there was, I don't really know I was kind of told, I don't even really know if it was from a local. They said that there was like key quotes that he had written down and the books that he had, and it was just very strange. Really kind of like, I can't remember what the exact exact quotes were, but I think there was like a Beatles quote, and then there was like some stuff from other books and stuff that were just kind of laying around, and it was like,
Yeah, but what did they get off of all the laptops that they took? And what did they get off of all the phones that they took? And there's so much other stuff that they took.
they took all
And
kinds of stuff. Oh yeah,
yeah,
but they
so
take
what
everything for a
exactly
reason.
did they find?
I don't know. People are so quick to say, well, Liggett and Holman said that there wasn't anything digital, but that was so early on when after they arrested him. It takes time for that stuff to come back. Google is very protective of privacy
Mhm.
data. It takes a very long
Yes.
time. Apple can take up to a year.
Yeah.
Google probably even longer. Google is so secure. There's undoubtedly things on his search history. I'm pretty sure I heard a rumor that he called into a. There's a rumor that was swirling around a while back that he actually called into a podcast. I don't know how true that is, but they have that. If it happened, they definitely have it.
Yes. Well, there's that. There's the rumors that he was in Facebook groups.
Yep.
We don't know what name specifically he was under, but he was watching everything we did.
Early on. And
Mhm.
you know what's funny is I'll give you this kind of eerie. It's not up anymore, but I have a buddy who archives a bunch of like live streams, and he's been archiving them for like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
We were watching an old minivan traveler stream from 2018, and he's talking to the Delphi killer, and he goes, Richard Allen Davis got away or he got off because he committed his crimes in California, and it just so happened that the killer for Delphi was named Richard Allen. Like totally spooky coincidence. I looked at him, I go, are you kidding me? He just said that. And that was in
Oh
2018.
my god.
Yeah, I don't know if Minivan Traveler still has it up, but I never really don't know much about the guy, but we were watching that and he said it. And looking back at that, like my head just snapped. I'm like, he's talking to the Delphi killer, comparing him to Richard Allen Davis from California, and had no clue he was saying the name of the killer right there.
Oh my
Isn't
god.
that
That is
crazy?
freaky.
Yeah, I don't know if Minivan Traveler. I think he goes by Jim now, but it was
Yeah.
on there. It was on there. It was a long time ago. But my God, man, what are the odds of that? You know,
Oh my god. That's
crazy.
crazy.
I don't think again, it's archived stuff that's all on the computer, so I don't know if it's still on there or not. But it's one of those. I don't know if people remember that, but it freaked me out.
Wow. It would be very, very interesting to be able to go back and listen to all of those earlier creators and what they were saying to see what is, what so far is true, what was rumor, false,
Most of it's been
and
false.
then do it again after the trial once we hear everything the prosecution has.
I think 99% of it's going to be false. There was like a whole bunch of like crazy stuff, like the pictures they were trying to make out of Bridge Guy, and like it's just seeing. We were
Yeah.
watching that, like he did the whole. I don't. This isn't being like disparaging, but like the Jesus Christ was in my buttered toast this morning. That kind of
Oh
stuff.
gosh.
But that's kind of what it was like. And it just turned out to be really not true. I mean, everybody kind of noticed he had weird eyes, and that kind of came out to be true.
Yeah. Boston, Richard Allen was
Oh
in
yeah.
a lot of Facebook groups, was rumored to be in a lot of Facebook groups, watching YouTube videos and listening to everything that we were saying.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just so crazy
And I
to me.
really want to know if the prosecution has tied him in through his military record to any of these people.
I don't know. He was in the National Guard though, wasn't
Yep.
he? I don't
Yep.
know.
And I want to know if they've tied him into the fact of he tried to become a member of the Odinist and was rejected. See if
I don't.
that's truth or rumor or what.
As somebody who I grew up in Indiana. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of this is granted. I live in a different sector of Indiana, but I've never heard of any of that stuff. Like having initiations into groups and stuff. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I've never heard it. I know dorms and stuff. Like I live in a college town. I've heard that, of course, but I've never heard of
Well,
like,
yeah, the hazing from the fraternities and
oh
stuff.
yeah, that's a whole other story. IU gets in a lot of trouble for that quite
Oh,
often.
yeah.
But I've never heard of like, I mean, I'm sure there are like pagan people around here, but I've never heard of like underground, like, hey, we're gonna, super spooky like cultists. We wear our hoods and stuff with the torches. I've never heard of that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I've just never heard. Me personally, I've never seen it. But again, I don't hang out with a crowd that I would find myself in that situation. So maybe it is. Maybe it is rampant. I don't know.
Yeah, and Tornado Dorothy said, lived in Indiana all my life, no Odinist, and not even once
It's the
did
first
she
time I
hear
ever heard.
about him. So, you
First time
know,
I ever heard of Odin was in the Marvel movies.
oh,
That's true. That's true. That's true. Thor.
yeah,
Good movie. But I've never heard of it.
yeah,
I've never heard of it ever. I've heard rumors of
you're
the
right.
Klan. I don't know if you guys. So if you're kind of like, depends what part of Indiana you live in, but I live really close to Morgan Monroe State Forest. And there's a cemetery there called Step Cemetery that's supposedly one of Indiana's most haunted places. But they also say whenever I was growing up that the Klan hung out there. And that's the only time I've ever heard of like anything like that. I never saw it, but I mean, somebody goes out there and lights candles and stuff, and there's like dry candle wax and stuff. But could be true, could
Mm,
be. I don't know, but I've never seen. That's the only time I've ever heard of a cult was operating out of the Morgan Monroe State Forest. Morgan County, Monroe County is a forest that kind of connects.
okay.
Massive, yeah.
I'm sure there still is KKK around, but they're just underground now. They're not out there flashing things like they used to be.
Oh yeah. No, I remember. I don't know if you guys remember in 2018. I actually just found this article, or I found this article 2 or 3 days ago. The KKK advertised a cookout here in Indiana at the southern border of northern border of Kentucky, southern border of Indiana. I think it was
Okay.
Madison, Indiana. I think it was, and a bunch of people showed up. It was a real thing. They were handing out flyers to people, and it got
Oh,
drowned out
wow.
by. It was like 10 KKK people and like 500 protesters. And ever
Oh,
since then,
wow.
I never heard anything about it again. They kind of got ran out. I mean, you can't. I mean, that's just not a thing in 2024. It's just not.
Right.
If you announce where you're going to be, if you're going to be racist, if you're going to be an asshole, like people are going to show up. So of course, I think they have to operate underground.
True.
Yeah.
And I think other organizations and stuff have learned from that, you know, and don't come out and be out loud and stuff.
No way.
They're
It's
more
just not. Yeah.
underground
No way.
too.
I don't want to get. No, I'm not. I'm going to keep that comment. That's a political comment. I'm not going to talk about that. I don't want to cause any like. Yeah.
So what other evidence do you think the prosecution has on Richard Allen? Do you think they have some kind? Now, when I say DNA, it's not the DNA that we all think of, but some form of DNA.
Yeah.
Do you
Oh
think
yeah.
they have that against him because they
Oh
have
yeah.
an expert?
Yeah. David Haney was talking about we need money for a DNA expert. Now, why would you need money for a DNA expert if they got DNA? I think what it
Right,
is, is that they have something that can exclude certain people. Because that does exist. It might be a partial piece of DNA. It might not be enough to identify somebody, but it could be enough to exclude somebody. I think that's what it is. If we go up here, you say we got this DNA sample, I can exclude Johnny, Jim, and Harry, or Tick, whatever they say, Dick, Tom, and Harry, but I can't exclude Richard Allen. And then they bring in a third party suspect. Well, the DNA excludes your third party suspect, but it doesn't exclude this guy.
right,
That's a problem. And I know I understand you have to kind of stack circumstantial evidence,
right.
but that's just another piece right there.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I
And
think
I'm really
that's a
curious
problem.
to see what the witnesses have to say.
It's my understanding that one of the witnesses has already positively ID'd Allen. I don't know if
That's what
anybody
I've
else has.
heard.
I've heard that too. I've heard that from reputable sources that said, yeah, they called in one of the girls and said, yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah, after they saw him.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, of course, none of it was vetted. Of course, I'm just taking At face
right?
value, but we all heard the
Right
same
now
thing.
it's all speculation, rumor, whatever, alleged. But it would be can't wait till October when we finally find out what is, what we thought is speculation or alleged or whatever is actually true.
It's coming quick, ain't it? We're already 3
It
months
is.
away. Everyone's like, "Oh, we got 6 more months." We're already down to number 3. We're already down to number 3
Oh
more
yeah.
months. It's going quick, guys. It's going quick. I'm
Now,
astounded
do
by the
you
amount of
think
silence. Sorry, go ahead.
the amount of silence right now?
Nothing. Yeah, the amount of nothing going on. I can't tell you the last time there was a
Yes.
filing. Yeah, but go ahead. You were going to ask something.
Do you think the trial is actually going to happen in October, or do you think there's going to be another continuance?
I mean, not that my opinion really means much, but I would be surprised if it got. I don't know what else. I mean, I'm sure there's something crazy that they could try, but I think they've kind of like played all their cards here. I think they have, because I know I was talking about this earlier over on Kev. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to push it to the 2-year mark not in captivity, but in custody, because
To
then
where they
they
have
have.
to give them a bond?
Yeah, I think that's what's happening. Because like I understand. I guess I don't understand like the fascination of like people not wanting it to be Allen, but like it's pretty clear to me that his defense really isn't prepared. I think they know he's guilty, and I think they're trying to ride on the fame of like getting him off. I feel like if this was any other case, like if Richard Allen was a suspect in any other case, I feel like it would have been plead out by now, pled it or whatever that word. But
Yeah.
I feel like and this is me being honest here, I genuinely think that they're trying to ride on the fame of this, on the 2%, the 1% chance, or the less than 1% chance that they get him off, because it'd be big
Right.
time. It'd be big time. You'd be, if they got him off, they're set for life. They're going to get so many book deals. And I think that's what I think that's what they're riding on. I really do. As skeezy, as scummy as it is, I think that's what we're seeing here.
Well, even if they don't get them off, they're still going to have book deals and everything else.
Yeah. Maybe not as many, but yeah, they'll have some. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think just taking it to trial is going to make them like. I think that's what they want. I think they're in it for themselves. As bad as that is to say, I think that's the case.
So Necessary Evil says, but I heard the same girl sold or said Jimmy Duvall was the guy too. Well, don't you think
they look identical?
They do.
They look alike.
But don't you think that law enforcement has already investigated Jimmy Duvall and ruled him out?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he was never arrested for it?
Yep.
And I keep saying to everybody, and I'm going to keep saying it, this law enforcement on this particular case, the Delphi case, held everything to their vest so closely. They never once named anybody a suspect. Don't you think that they have to have quite a bit in order just to arrest Richard Allen and say he is their suspect? He is the one that committed this crime. After all those years of not saying nothing and not having a suspect at all, I don't see them arresting a man that they just think did it.
No way.
They've got stuff against him.
The FBI wanted it to be Ron Logan, and it wasn't. So you got to think about that too. They were trying really hard to get it to be Ron Logan, but it just wasn't.
Right?
Andrea, they ruled out Duvall years. Yeah, they did. They did.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a big.
Yeah, I know you're just considering what the defense is going to say and go after. And my whole thing, the reason I asked you if there was going to be another continuance is because let's say Judge Gull throws out all of this stuff in the motion of the Lamine except for,
and then they have to fall back
Ron Logan.
So
they're going to have to redo their whole approach and everything. Are they going to be ready to do that in 2 months?
That's going to be really hard to do because Rozzy said Ron Logan was innocent.
Who
Way
said
back,
that?
Rozzy, back in 2018, Rozzy was appointed for something for Ron Logan. He said it wasn't Ron Logan. So how can you go back and come back and say
And
different
say it
things?
is now?
Yeah, that's a problem for them for sure.
And I think that's partly why they didn't go with Ron Logan right off the bat.
No way, because
That and he's not alive. They're never going to get a confession out of him.
that
They
hurts their
can't
case.
question him. They can't give him a deposition.
What are the
They
odds?
had to go with what they have, and there's no proof he did it.
You got to think about this too. What are the odds that the guy who had something for Ron Logan also got called to rep? That's because as far as I understand, Indiana public defenders are picked at random, and it just so happened to be a guy who also said, "Well, Ron Logan was innocent," so there goes one avenue that you can't really use now because then you're just going to look silly.
Yeah, I agree. Tornado Dorothy says they got the goods. I believe they do too. Otherwise, they would have never, ever arrested him. And Necessary says something made them amend the charges, and hopefully it wasn't just the confessions he made. I don't think they're stupid enough to amend the charges just because he confessed.
What really
to
kind of like
outside of law enforcement.
What concerns me is that they had to drop the kidnapping charges because the statute of limitations for kidnapping is 5 years. That's scary to me.
Yeah.
That's very scary. That's a serious crime, and you're going to tell me you're going to drop that in 5 years? Whoa.
But that's because the police are taking longer and longer to solve these cases to make sure they have the goods on the people.
There's just so much more to it now.
Right. I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I'm glad you're here, Frosty, because I want to run this by you.
Uh-huh.
Right now, Americans see all of these cases getting reversed because they're older, okay? And police work wasn't as detailed back then, and they didn't have the technology, they didn't have DNA, so mistakes were made and people were convicted that shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
And right now, that's what people are hearing, is that law enforcement made another mistake and convicted this person. They spent the last 40 years in jail. Well, how many cases in the past 10 to 15 years have we heard about that law enforcement didn't have it right?
What was that last part? How many times recently have they not had it right?
How many cases in the past 10 to 15 years have come out where law enforcement actually got it wrong and the wrong person was convicted? Not very many because of the technology.
Many. Yeah,
and DNA.
The only case I could think of is like Casey Anthony. I feel like they messed up Casey Anthony, but that was a long time ago. I was just a kid back then. But I think that's one of them, and then George Zimmerman. But that's guilty people getting off. I can't think of any high-profile case where the innocent wrong person got arrested.
Right.
It's just too hard nowadays. There's so much to it now. You got, I can find a picture in your phone that you deleted 3 years ago.
Right.
The right people. I pay. They want to pay the price for that. Yeah, of course.
Exactly, and that's why I'm saying yes. There are people that are being let out of jail and getting millions of dollars because they were wrongfully convicted, but it was before all of this came about. All the DNA, the investigation tools, social media, cell phones, things that show where you are at every minute of the day.
I'd say it's less than 1% that they've got the wrong guy in Delphi. I really do.
Right.
With everything going, even in 2017, everything was advanced, like kind of that. Compared to other cases, to sit there and say that they got the wrong guy in 2017, that's hard to prove.
Yeah, I agree. And I know that there are mistakes made in labs. Not as many as we think nowadays with all the procedures and processes. I'm not saying nobody in police is corrupt because I certainly believe that
Oh yeah.
there are a lot of bad apples in the police forces
Oh yeah.
today, all over the United States and world.
Yep.
But not all of them are bad.
Two things can be true. The police can be kind of like small town Indiana police can be kind of
Mhm.
corrupt in the sense that they play favorites with family and stuff. But it can also be true that they got the right guy.
Yeah,
We don't have to like it, but we can call it the bad behavior after.
right, right. Well, I mean, look at the Karen Reed trial. I just read that a, a good source actually stated that Proctor is suspended without pay now because the FBI is looking in to not only the Karen Reed case, but several cases that he worked on.
For those who don't, I don't really. Who's Proctor?
Proctor is the police officer that was friends with all the other police officers in the Karen Reed trial, um, and pretty much trained in on her right away. Did all kinds of nasty things behind the scenes, said nasty things about her, was very unprofessional. But they're saying that he um, did something with the tail light, and that is why the whole prosecution has this theory, and nobody can prove otherwise. It's a mess in that case.
Yeah, I have no. Again, I can only handle so much at once. This sounds like a whole other. Like I don't really know anything about that case. That's wild. I don't
Oh
even know
yeah,
the
it's a
crime.
mess. It well, and then Frosty, they gave the jurors these instructions in this case, right? There was three main charges with some charges underneath a couple of them. And all they put in on the statement that they gave the jurors was guilty. There was one box at the very top of the page that says, if you do not find that the defendant is guilty of count one, then you are to presume she is innocent of all charges.
What?
So a few of the
Wow.
jurors have talked now since they had this case went to a mistrial because the jury couldn't decide. And three or four of the jurors came out now and said on the main two charges, absolutely the whole jury found her not guilty. It was on one of the lesser counts that they couldn't decide if she was guilty or not. But based off the instructions they got, as soon as they said she was not guilty of first degree murder, she should have been not guilty on all the rest of the charges.
That was on the instructions.
Not very clearly, no.
So if she's not guilty of one, she's not guilty of all.
If they
This
couldn't
is confusing.
find if the jury could not find that she hit him with the car, which caused murder one charges, then that means she didn't do any of the lesser charges either. Because all the lesser
Wow.
charges had her hitting him with the car and killing him.
Well, shit. I don't know. Is that jury still hung?
Yeah, it was a mistrial.
So are they going to try it again?
That's what they're saying. But now that you have these jurors coming out stating that the jury forms were confusing and they didn't understand them, and that the whole jury found her completely innocent of first degree murder, and the fact that they did not believe that she hit him with the car at all.
Oh
They're
my
saying
god.
that should have been told to the judge, and that
Maybe
she
this is a
should have
learning.
been found not guilty of those charges.
Maybe
And
it's a
then the
little bit.
prosecutor could decide if they wanted to try her on some of the lesser charges.
maybe this is a learning opportunity for. Maybe it's a good thing that the Delphi trial got delayed because
Yeah.
maybe this is a lesson. Hey, maybe make your jury instructions clear. Maybe it's not so bad.
And the worst part is they read the instructions to the jury. They sent them in to deliberate. The defense went home and reread all of the instructions and came in that very next morning stating to the judge, you did not make the changes we wanted you to make. The defense stated that for each count, they wanted a guilty box or a not guilty box. And the
Wow.
judge would not make the change.
Wow. See, it's crazy how that much of a minute detail can really throw a wrench in the whole
Exactly.
process. Yeah, that maybe it's a good thing. And Al on the prowl, Karen Reed case is effed up. Should have been a not guilty. I don't know, but
Yeah.
was she? I don't know. I don't know anything about that case. What's the public? Like, what's the general consensus? Is it her or not?
Not guilty.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. I'll have to look into that. That's interesting.
I think I'm actually going to go back through some of the Karen Reed trial because now it's so controversial. Based off of what these jurors have said, go back and look at the evidence that the defense presented and the reasonable doubt that they presented, stating that she did not hit him with the car, which means he did not lay in that snow and die of his injuries due to her fault.
Who are they thinking did it?
His girlfriend.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, I don't even know the bare basics of that case, so I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
That's
I think
wild.
I'm going to go back over through that case and talk about, what the prosecution may have tried to do, how the defense destroyed him, because that's how I feel. I feel there was more than enough reasonable doubt with the fact that we know that some of the cops did lie.
Sure.
They did not do their duties professionally.
Huh.
They skipped steps in procedures like putting blood in solo cups.
The cops did that?
Yes.
Why?
Don't ask me.
What the hell? See,
Yes.
and I'm kind of like, this is me on the outside looking into this, so I don't really know a lot about it. But this is when I'll say, what the hell? I'll call out law enforcement. I do that with the Lawrence Spear case. People think, hey, Tommy Frost, he's pro people or pro prosecution. It doesn't always mean that. I'll
but
always
I think
call
we
out.
can learn things from this case and apply it to the Delphi case.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just nuts,
But again,
this
maybe
is
it's
what
a good
defense
thing.
has to really do and prove to make it known that there is reasonable doubt for their defendant, not what Baldwin and Rozzi are trying to do.
It's a lot to be okay. Man, this is a good learning lesson for all of us.
Yes.
And maybe even for maybe it's a good thing that Delphi got delayed, and the court actors could sit and watch how this unfolded, and they can maybe learn something from it. That way, we avoid some of the tomfoolery that happened in this case.
Exactly.
Could be.
Exactly.
This
case went on for over a month.
Yeah, I know it was going on for a while. I just didn't. I know they were hung, and then all of a sudden it was like quiet. So.
Okay, so all on the prowl. He just said they did suspend the lead detective.
Oh wow!
I said earlier that I had heard from a good source that they suspended him with no pay. When initially, right after the trial was over, Tommy, they said that this detective was moved to a different position.
What position do we know?
Well, he went from being a investigator for the prosecutor's office to suspended now.
Oh, so he said he didn't get moved to another. He's suspended.
Yeah, All in the Prowl said they just suspended the lead detective, which is Proctor.
Oh my God, isn't that crazy? That was today?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So I think by looking at these other trials, especially these bizarre ones, we're going to learn things for Delphi and for the Idaho 4 case. Now I heard that one's back on till in 2025, so
Isn't that
that's
crazy?
going to
That's
be
so
interesting.
long. That's so long. That's so long.
I know.
They arrested him before Allen, didn't they? Or was it after Allen? No, this whole thing happened after Allen was arrested, right? It was in the same month. It was no. It was November 4th. It was my birthday. I think it happened. So it was the day Allen's defense got appointed.
Yeah.
Idaho. Yeah, the Idaho 4. Yeah, that was definitely on my birthday. I remember.
Okay.
Oh, in the early hours of November 13th. Okay, my birthday's the 14th. Me and Mark have the
Yep.
same birthday. You guys didn't know that?
Oh no.
Yep, we're a podcast.
And I just wanted to let you know that because of this Proctor, this Officer Proctor, there is another case out of Maryland that also has to do with law enforcement officers and a woman. Now, her death was initially noted as an unaliving herself. Now, because of everything that this officer has done with the Karen Reed, they now just changed her death certificate to homicide.
What?
And that's one of the other cases that they're looking into. So I want to talk about that case too.
What state is that out of?
Massachusetts.
Okay. Yeah, if that's something I could start at the ground, or so to speak, the ground floor, work my way up. Wow.
So it's messy. Jesus. That case it didn't start out that way. It just started out with, well, the defense and Karen Reed are saying that, the police are corrupt and they were out to get her. We're thinking, yeah, right. You hear that all the time. But then as you're hearing the defense, question these witnesses, and a lot of them are police officers. The guy that was killed was a police officer.
Have you heard of the
And then
Murray
you start
case?
seeing evidence and you're like, okay, hang on a minute. The defense might be right.
Yeah. Have you heard of the only other case I was looking at, Maura Murray from like 2000?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was the one that really kind of wrapped me up. That's got a lot. That's very similar to Delphi. The community in that case is very similar to Delphi. And, I feel like a lot, I hope the internet learns from the Delphi case. I really do.
I hope so too.
Because we got people here, I don't know, and I've talked about this before, but I pointed out something, or no, Mark did actually. It was Mark who did it. We pointed out something that kind of looks bad for the defense, and it just ruffled a bunch of feathers, and people got pissed off. And somebody went live. Somebody went live last night, jumping up and down in their seat, saying that we're covering for the Odinists, but it's not us that said it. It was the defense team that said it.
Right. Ashley Schaefer says, hey, I just sold another car. Congratulations.
Oh, my God.
If you guys haven't seen the Ashley Schaefer videos, you need to go take a look.
Oh my God. He got me into that show last week. I started watching it. It's pretty but it's to the point. So in that show, there's a scene where Danny McBride, I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he's like, that Ashley Schaefer wants me on his lot. And I jumped up, I'm like, I know Ashley, and I had to stop. I'm like, oh yeah, it's from a TV show. It's not a real person. It's not a real person.
Yeah.
That was my reality check, but yeah, it's oh my God, it's like a whole wrestling character with him. He's not going to break character until we do a DVD of of all this at the end of it.
Yep. Yeah, I can't wait to see what the hearings bring at the end of the month, but most of all, I am looking forward to the trial because I want to finally hear what the prosecution has and how the defense is going to try to show that he is actually innocent, or what they're
I've
going to
yet to
put up
see
for
anything.
reasonable doubt.
I've yet to see anything. Okay, so like the defense team, and I'll give them credit. They got people talking on the internet.
Yes, they did.
Not that that's hard to do, but I have yet to see any piece of singular evidence regarding the Odinist that excludes Alan. It doesn't.
I know.
It doesn't.
I
Sure, you
know.
could say Tom, Dick, and Harry were there, but what is that? It does nothing to remove Alan. You know,
Right, and you have to actually prove they were there.
and they can't. They
I
can't. They
know.
can't do it. A polygraph by somebody's sister. They go. That's just not. It doesn't hold a lot of weight. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. It just doesn't.
And I know people keep talking about Elvis Fields. What about what Elvis Fields knew and said before it was released, and you know, but they didn't find any spit on the girls.
They were no horns either.
Right. And
Fact of
from what
life.
I heard, they alibied him.
Elvis.
Yeah.
Elvis can't. I don't think. Somebody said he drove, but here. Okay, so here in this is a very basic. This is going to take 2 seconds to explain. Elvis Fields lives 2 hours away, 2.5 hours away. Abby
Yep.
and Libby decided they were going to go to the trails at absolute most, an hour before they went. That doesn't give him enough time to get up there.
Yes.
That doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
Holder was at work.
And
that doesn't make sense.
Like CJK said, he wanted to be a part of something so bad.
He denies everything. I mean, I'm not going to say I looked at his Facebook and he was denying it from the day that whole thing dropped. But I'm not.
Yeah.
Ashley Schaefer, especially when you drive a lawnmower. That's right.
Yeah.
He drives lawnmowers. I don't think he's allowed to drive.
Was Westerman? I thought Westerman's judge said that he was gonna decide his fate after Delphi. I know they had pushed Delphi back now. Is he going to be in court on the 18th?
Yeah, that's what it says now.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to get anything more than Ashley Schaefer. It ain't got no gas in it. I don't think he's going to get a whole lot. I don't think he is.
I don't think he is either. If he gets anything at all.
I mean, it sucks that it happened, but
I agree.
It's not like he held a gun to somebody's head or assaulted somebody. It's not a violent crime, so it won't be very much.
And if they don't want things like this to happen in the future,
don't leave your paperwork out on the desk.
Yeah, they better make some more laws, right?
I don't know what. I think there's going to be a lot of precedents from this case. I think this is one of Indiana's most historic cases.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
and if Alan is found guilty, dang well they're going to do everything they can in the appeal court.
I think murder convictions automatically get an appeal. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure they do.
Oh, in Indiana they do?
I think they do. Because I know, and I've talked about this. Turner versus State, they have the same ballistic evidence that they're going to use against Alan.
Yep.
He was convicted on that evidence by the same expert witness. And then he got an appeal and he got convicted again on the same evidence with the same expert witness. So I
think because of that precedence, that bullet evidence is going to come through, and it's going to be, if they can prove that those markings are the specific to that gun, he's done for.
Yeah, I mean, they I don't know if you guys have heard this before, but apparently that gun leaked in one of the warrants. It wasn't publicly leaked, but in one of the early warrants, they looked. They knew what gun it was. I don't know how they knew, but they were looking for it as soon as Bicycle Bridge Road. And people were like,
Yeah,
"Oh, it wasn't."
they knew what type of gun.
It was a SIG. They knew it was a SIG Sauer P226 that was in one of the early
Yep,
warrants. But then people complained like it wasn't in the wrong Logan warrant because they didn't want to tip off the killer. I
right.
think it accidentally made it into the Max or the Bicycle Bridge Road. But people are like, well, why didn't they announce that they had a bullet? Why didn't they announce what kind of gun they were looking for? Hello, I have a gun. I own this model. I can throw it away. I can dispose of it. I can sell it.
Exactly.
I can go to Mexico and I can trade it for something, and it's long gone. That's why.
Well, and we've heard that they tested Brad Weber's
Yeah,
Sig
Brad
Sauer.
Weber. He had the same gun and it didn't match him.
Right.
He's crazy too, but
Oh, yes,
I
he
think
is.
I think he's just tired of trespassers. He's in a lot of the Facebook groups. I think he's just tired of trespassers. I get that,
I
but
get it
still,
too, but at the same time, the way that he's going about being threatening and everything
it's fucking
is not the right way to do it.
nah. What did Anthony say?
Um, hang on one second. CJK says, but it's interesting that old Baldy didn't press charges for theft, which says a lot. He knew it would happen and possibly wanted it to happen. Okay. You can see the firearm in the video, and that is one of the reasons Ellie didn't want that portion revealed to the suspect. So he didn't ditch it. Yes,
Oh,
I would have to agree with that.
I agree with that. That makes sense to me. Makes
We
sense to me.
don't we know that Richard Allen was in groups and watching YouTube. We don't know under what name.
Correct. There was a rumor that it was Rick Allen Hill, but I don't think it was him.
Yeah. We don't know for a fact what name he was under.
Law
But he
enforcement
was,
probably does.
yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they know a lot more about his social media presence than we do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because we can't find a whole lot of anything.
They wiped all the profiles. Kathy Allen
Yeah.
deleted all that shit.
Well, and he never used his actual name. You know, they think he used women's names a lot.
Yeah, there was one girl's name. What was that?
Emily
Haley
Ann.
Schneider. Emily Ann and Haley
Yeah,
Schneider.
Haley Schneider too. You know, so if you come in there acting like a woman with a woman's name, nobody would think twice and question them.
Ashley Schaefer, who would do that? Ashley Schaefer is a male character, though.
Oh, yeah, necessary. I think it would blow us away if we found out it was someone we knew well.
Who, Allen?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Owl on the Prowl says, in my opinion, I think Alan was calling in fake tips. Maybe.
I could see that. For sure. I really could.
Yeah. Especially if he emailed them anonymously.
See, there's a I'm going to kind of compare this to I'm not going to say for sure, but I've met people in my life who like to tell on themselves.
Yes.
I used to work at a insurance company here in Bloomington, Indiana, and I was one of the people who would go around and make sure the phones worked. It was a call center. That was where I started. And we had this guy. We had a guy. He was kind of not all there. He seemed normal on face value. He would unplug his phone. He would unplug his phone from the computer just ever so slightly, where it looks like the cable. He's like, "Hey guys, my phone ain't working," and then I would go and I'd be like, I would be like, "Jackson, why did you unplug it?" He's like, "I didn't unplug it," and I would put it back in. And an hour later, he's having the same problem. It's the same thing, and we found him on camera unplugging it, but he was telling on himself. It's just kind of like, Jackson, what are you doing, buddy? I got you right in. I think he ended up getting fired. I couldn't fire him. I was just I was just one of the quote unquote IT guys.
Yeah.
It was very basic what I did, and that's what he was doing. He was unplugging his phone so he could take a break for about an hour or so and not take any phone calls. And then he'd raise his hand and say, "Guys, my computer ain't working, my phone ain't working." And it was him unplugging it. And he told on himself. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that some people tell on themselves. I've seen it before.
Yep.
But yeah, that's why I was like, people find who would tell on themselves. A lot more people do it than you think.
Yeah. And okay, so I want to get your thought on this. You know how they say there's other perpetrators, other tentacles? What if that's all part of the CSAM investigations that they're doing?
Like
It
Northfleet
actually
stuff?
doesn't have anything to do with Abby and Libby being killed.
Like it could be Alan. Alan was in the same group of people who have a super secret Dropbox and all that.
Well, not even that. I mean, the whole reason that Anthony Schatz was brought into the Delphi case is because they believe he or somebody under that profile was talking to the girls.
Yeah.
But what if the tentacles that they're talking about doesn't have anything to do with the actual murders themselves, but the CSAM portion of...
So like somebody involved in CSAM took it a step further and killed somebody. Basically, am I getting that?
Or just
in general?
arresting the CSAM individuals, the pedophiles.
So wait, if you're saying that, let me. First and 10, we're gonna take a break, or not break, but I'm gonna break this down. So the arrest of Alan leads to a CSAM circle, possibly.
No.
Okay, let me make sure I'm picking up what you're putting down here.
The Anthony Schatz profile came first.
Yes, absolutely.
Under the tip line for the girls.
Oh.
And they did that because they thought somebody using the Anthony Schatz profile talked to the girls last.
Okay, so kind of like branching off. So the
Yes.
Anthony Schatz account, then you branch off to Alan, but then you also have this avenue of CSAM people.
Yes.
Okay, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
and
Indiana has a lot of weirdos.
What if the CSAM part of it is all the tentacles that they're diving into and arresting? And I mean, look, they just arrested Northfleet.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. That's a good question. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe the Anthony Schatz thing led to underground, what's Alex Voorhees say, criminal underworld. Maybe it did. Maybe it did. And I'm glad that, they're kicking that first stone, or they're looking under that first stone. They're arresting people. That's good. I mean, of course, if there's an underground criminal underworld, arrest all of them. Like shit.
Well, Doug Carter said it was one of the biggest CSAM cases out there that they've had in a long time.
Northern Indiana has a lot of weirdos. So yeah, I'll be the first.
It's not just going to be Indiana. It's
Tennessee,
because of this, it's going to branch out to all the other states, and they're going to find all these players.
It's not just
tentacles, Indiana, and take them down. I mean, they've taken down how many already, but they're still going after the bigger ones.
Yeah, they found 200 people in Arizona. I think 200 kids or something like that. A lot of that comes back to Indiana. I hope they do. Oh my god. Yeah, no, it's no. I mean, the whole Northfleet stuff. That's what I was like. And if you ever go look at Daniel Northfleet's charges, the charges are from November 14th of 2022. Right after that's why I kind of thought that it was related to Alan.
Right after that raid.
Right after. Or no, the raid was in April. Remember that? I came on here. That was the first time I came on here. I met you and Frank. The raid happened in April, but I guess the crimes themselves were committed in November of 2022. And that's when they found all that stuff. And I thought it was related to Alan. It was way too close, but I guess it's not related to Alan. At least that I've seen.
I mean, I just keep thinking of it. Okay, multiple tentacles, multiple people, whatever. Libby and Abby losing their lives, and their legacy is the fact that all of these pedophiles and groups get taken down. I mean, that would be a huge legacy for them.
Yeah, it'd be a massive. It'd be
Right.
the biggest sting in Indiana history.
Because of their demise and their deaths, all of a sudden all these organizations and people were taken down that help save future children.
Yeah, no, it's.
I mean,
I hate that people think it's only. I mean, I admit that Indiana has like, I'm not loyal. Like, I'm the only one from my family who was like born in Indiana, but it's still there's a lot. There's a lot of weird people around here. Marv, would you be okay if Mark joined? Mark was wanting the link.
oh, absolutely. Can you
Mark
send it to him?
Yeah, Mark has no power, so he was he was bored and he wanted to come on and talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we might do our own after this. I'm so bored tonight, guys. Let me tell you, I was I like I don't know. Today's just been so boring. I've been waiting on the rain to get here. It never showed up. I'm anticipating floods coming through, but we'll see.
It is so hot here.
Really?
Compared to Wisconsin.
Where are you? Where are you at again? Are you in Anderson?
Rushville.
Rushville. Oh yeah, we have a machine gun shoot in Rushville every year. But I sent a link to Mark, so Mark will be up here soon, and me and Mark will be doing a show at 11:30 if you guys want to hop over there. But we'll hang out here. We'll hang out here for a bit. I love talk. Marv is one of my favorite people to talk to. I can sit here all night and talk.
I know it. It's just weird things that go through my head, and I like to throw them out and talk to other people about it. And it's just crazy. And I think it's because they always said we're going to be shocked. Okay, what are we going to be shocked about? I just keeps going through my head listening to Doug Carter. It's going to shock people. Well, what the hell's going to shock me? So,
yeah, I know. So wait, but I mean, I guess like, I don't know. Everything shocks me. Like, I guess I'm not like.
I'm not shocked about anything so far.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, it takes a lot to like. Hold on. What is our? It's Monday night chat. Sorry. Lovely Turbo does our thumbnails. She's like, "What are you guys talking about tonight?" Well, probably the fact that Mark survived the hurricane. So we're just gonna do a random chat.
Thank goodness he's okay.
I'm so glad. Dude, he has become my best friend. He really has. I love that guy so much.
CJK, Frosty don't watch the chat. We do.
I am so thankful for you guys. I am so thankful for you guys. I really am. But no, for real, like, just the people that are like, Mark's going through a lot right now. Mark, I mean, he's fine. The house is fine, but they have no power. He just wants to come on and have fun. So we could we could do that. We don't have to talk about anything in particular. We'll talk about whatever, I'm sure. But in Houston with no power, oh my God. Could you imagine? I'm sweating right now thinking about it.
I know. The house that I stayed at last night didn't have air conditioning. They had a window air conditioner in the room I was sleeping in, but it was hot.
Oh yeah. Where were you at? A hotel?
No, I was staying with friends and family and right outside the border of Indiana in Illinois.
Oh yeah.
Mark, are you there?
Do we have him? Why's he got hot dogs?
We can't hear him.
Mark, unmute.
Can you hear me?
Hey, yes.
Mark.
We hear the crickets. It's the silence after the storm. Can you hear the crickets, Marv? I hear
Can you
it.
hear me?
We hear you.
I
Are
can
you
hear
there?
you.
I can't hear you guys. Hello?
Oh no. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Tell him to go out and come back in.
Yeah, go out and come back in, brother. Oh, wait. I guess you can't hear me. That doesn't help.
Thank you so much, Carrie Summers, for the super sticker.
I hear the
appreciate
crickets.
it.
Yeah, I can just hear. Oh my god!
I
know
can
he's.
hear crickets. That's the
I
weird
can.
thing.
You can hear. The sound. I can hear how muggy it is.
Yeah.
I hear myself, but I don't hear him. Mark, we see you.
We see you.
He's
we
waving.
hear you.
Mark. He's got an iPhone 6.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It's old.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but just wanted to say hey, doing okay. Can tell. Well, you can't tell, but there's absolutely no power like anywhere near here. Debris everywhere, glass everywhere, trash everywhere. But everybody in our neighborhood's okay. We just don't have power. So thanks everybody for checking up. Hope everybody's doing okay. And I guess have a good night. So I guess I'll try and fuck around with this a little more, Tommy, and I'll get back with you. But,
all right.
Bye.
Well, bye, Mark. We're glad he's okay. Oh my god.
Yes. His area was evacuated. We can tell you that because he told us that. He's still there at home, and there's a lot of damage around them.
Oh wow. Yeah, I know. He told us. He sent us some pictures of trees being down in his yard and stuff. So.
Yeah. And I guess the neighbor's house got it real bad because they actually had a tree go through the house, he said.
Yeah, they did.
So, yeah, crazy. I'm so glad he's okay, and I'm glad that those that wanted to evacuate could, and he decided to stay and make sure
Yeah.
everything was okay. And so he's been out of power for what, almost 48 hours?
No, I think the power went out. He said 5:00 his time, so 4:00 our time. So about 7 or 8 hours now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's tough, man. It's
Talk to the audience for me so I can grab a soda.
Oh yeah, sure. Let me pull up. Oh, where the hell are we? Laura, I'm glad. Wait. Ashley Schaefer, we can tell. Laura, like he needed anything more. Oh no, for sure. Yeah, I know. There's a lot going on. If you guys hadn't heard of Mark, the dog got in a fight with a coyote, and the coyote was actually going after Mark's daughter. And Panda, lovely Panda, killed the coyote, but suffered some really, really bad wounds. But it sounds like she's gonna live. So at the beginning there, it would look like she was gonna lose her eyeball, and then it looks like yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. But she had some necrotic tissue removed, so she's gonna make it. So people on our stream last night were like, "Who's that dog barking in the background?" And you're like, "I welcome that dog because
You betcha.
I thought that dog was gonna die. I love that dog. I have never met Panda, but I've seen the pictures of her. She's adorable, and I love any and all dogs. And oh my god, I'm so glad she made it through, and she lived through the hurricane. So Panda is a warrior. It's a dog. She is our favorite. She is our mascot of our channels right now. So we love Panda. So if you guys just are
Well,
able
and
to
she
keep.
was just doing her job protecting his daughter, so
Yeah, she did a great job.
thank
Oh my
God
God.
she was there.
Yeah, and she made it through. She's gonna make it through.
Yeah,
She made it through. She made it through a hurricane and a coyote in 2 weeks. That's a really
yeah,
strong dog. That's a
that's
very strong
amazing.
dog.
So yes, Mark has gone through a lot, but hopefully now things will settle down for him and
I
get
hope
back to
so. He's been
normal.
through the. We're gonna do a live stream here at 11:30. I think Turbo's making our thumbnail right now. So, but
Cool.
that'll be on 11:30. But as much help as we can get those people. Whenever I say like, so we did the donations for Galen. If you're gonna donate to Galen, do not do a super chat. Do it to her Cash App. We posted that in the chat because I'll tell you what,
Yep.
and you know this. Google will hold that money hostage until you break a certain threshold, and then it takes like a month.
Yes.
It's annoying. They take a cut, they hold it. It's if you want to Cash App Galen, we'll have that on there. But Anthony says, "Hey, y'all, that dog needs it." Yeah, well, oh yeah, that dog is
Yeah,
that dog you could make a movie out of. That dog is awesome.
exactly. Yeah, I I think I'm just so defeated lately too
Why?
because all these stories are happening so fast. I mean, I look at my Facebook page now, my wall, and it's all missing people, right?
Yeah,
And you got all these kids missing and being unalived, and it's happening faster than we can get the information out. And it just
yeah, no,
feels
for sure.
defeating to me in a way.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. There's times where it looks like it's very bleak, but the bleakness goes away whenever we all come together here. I think is that
Yes.
that's really because I mean, if you feel like you're alone out there, but then you come here and you've got us all on here, and it's. I mean, I hope that we are able to help. I mean, none of us know that. I mean, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but I have never
Right.
personally. But like, I feel like I hope my hope is that I can help these people who like. If I bring you a laugh, if I make you laugh, it's something I did that's going to have an outcome.
Right.
Or whatever. I'm a goofy dude. I'll say a bunch of stupid stuff, and you can come over here. I can make you laugh, or I can say something stupid. You can laugh at me, and I hope out there that it's helping somebody. I really do.
Exactly.
It's not about me. It's about these people that we're talking about.
Yeah, I agree. And then you have I think that hit me all at the same time that the whole thing with CJ's wife,
Yeah,
that hit me super hard. I actually blamed myself for part of that. Um Even though I did not mention the YouTube creator's name, I blocked it out of the chat. I took all precautions to not make it about him, but to make it an educational piece for parents.
yeah. You did a
He
fantastic job. That guy's a
he
weirdo.
yeah, that guy did state that if anybody talked about his kids, that he would come after Troll
I
Farm,
don't know.
basically.
I don't know who he thinks he's scaring. You don't scare me.
No, I know. But
He's just a
then that
weirdo.
whole thing was CJ's wife, and I'm like, "Oh my god," and I took that really hard and probably more personal than I should have. And that
No,
was the whole
no, no, no.
time, while I was
That's just the
sick and
kind. No, that's just the kind of disgusting person the prof guy is. You got to really think about that. You got to think it's
right.
not you that did it; it's him, and he's a psychotic person. And it's not. I feel like there should be like a psych unit in his house, but I don't. It's
Yeah,
not your fault. It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong.
I know, but being sick and then hearing all these stories about these kids missing and being killed and then that happening and I think I just was not in a good mind frame at that time where I normally am, and I took it personally, and I mean, I cried that night that I found out forever. And then I finally pulled myself together and it was just a bad couple of weeks
Oh yeah,
for
no, for
me,
sure. Oh yeah, for sure.
and then I do have to say I wanted to say this at the beginning of the live stream, but I'm going to say it now. Um Miranda Lee, I love you. I am so sorry that your father passed away. Um and for a lot of us that know Miranda, her dad was diagnosed with cancer in
Yes.
May, and he passed away last night. So, my thoughts and prayers are with her. I've been in contact with her via text and actually talking to her on the phone. Um, my heart bleeds for her. I know exactly what she's going through. My dad passed away from cancer, and my mom passed away from an aneurysm bursting. So,
Ugh.
um, I know what it's like to be without parents and, one parent and then, with both parents, and I just feel so bad for her.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, it's awful.
It is.
She was
So,
always nice to me. I feel
yes.
bad. I like,
So if
people.
you guys see Miranda in the next week or so in the chat, just give her some words of encouragement, some love and support because she needs it now.
Yeah, it's no good. Oh. Oh shit! What did I do? I broke it. Oh, sorry.
What'd you break?
I've got this. This computer has a mind of its own, guys. I'm telling you. It does. But yeah, no, that's terrible about her father. Laura says yeah, of course, yeah. We all
She does
support.
have an
Yeah.
online community of people who love her, and I hope she realizes that. Yeah, so just, if you have her on Facebook or see her in Discord or in any of the chats in the next coming days, just give her a little bit of extra love and support, because she's going to need it. She's going through a rough time,
It's
and
tough, man. It's tough. I mean, my dad
yeah,
passed away. My dad passed away in 2016, and it was sudden. So like, I got woken up and said, "Hey, your dad passed," and I can't even even then. Oh my god, it's just I can't imagine knowing it's coming makes it any better, but it's terrible.
it does. Cuz
Does it?
I can honestly say that with my dad, he started out with lung cancer and went through radiation and chemo, and we went through that for years. And then it stayed where it was. It wasn't getting any worse, and so it was like that for a while. So you had time to process everything. You knew
Yeah.
they never got rid of it, but it wasn't getting worse, but it could someday.
Yeah. It's
And
yeah.
when I'll tell you all this. I was pregnant with my son, and I was 2 weeks away from delivering him when my dad died. And
Oh my
it
god.
was only a month before that we found out that the cancer had spread into his brain and other areas.
Oh my god.
So, I mean, we knew that day was going to come, so we were able to prepare for it. We didn't, and that once it spreads, it goes fast.
Oh yeah. It does.
That's the thing.
Oh yeah.
It goes fast. You spend as much time with them as you can, and you say, and I told her, say everything you have to say to him because it's important, and with my mom, I didn't know that she had an aneurysm. She hid it from me. So that night when she collapsed in the house, and then later died that evening,
Oh.
that was a complete shock. That one hit harder than with my dad because I had no warning.
Yeah, I didn't have a warning with my dad either. I was woken up at 5 a.m. and said, "Hey, your dad died." I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean,
I've never
but
had.
everybody reacts differently too, so it's not the same for everybody.
Yeah, my mom is fighting cancer right now, but it's only stage 1. But they told her that she carries an aggressive gene, so they want her to
Mm.
do chemo and the whole 9 yards, and they want me to get tested, make sure I don't carry it.
Yep.
My sister got tested; she doesn't carry it, so the odds are I don't. But my mom is like super adamant, like, "Go get your ass out of bed and get tested." She called me the other day. She's like, "Go right now." But me being me, I'm like, I'm in my 20s. I'll get it done one
Wait.
day. But
Yeah.
then, yeah, no. But then one day, I mean, I'll probably do it here within the next few weeks or so. But yeah, she was definitely freaking out about that.
Yep.
What's the fan in the grocery store?
Oh my
Andrea?
goodness, Frosty, it was so funny. I get here into Indiana, I'm getting all my stuff in, I'm visiting. Andrea comes over, and I'm like, Andrea, I need to go to the grocery store. I need to buy some food for the week,
Ah,
especially something for dinner, you know? So I'm in this little town here, and there's a little grocery store, and I'm shopping, and all of a sudden I hear Marv really loud, and
what?
I'm looking around
No.
like, what, who, where, you know? And Andrea was around the corner, and she come flying out of the corner because it was not very quietly, it was loud. And she's like, it's Alondra, we're okay. It's
Ah,
Alondra. I'm like, where? And she's like, right in front of you. I'm like,
oh my God. What
but
are the odds?
somebody recognized me in the grocery store.
Wow.
And Andrea thought she was gonna have to throw down with somebody
Oh my God. No way.
and protect me because we didn't know who the heck it was at first.
No way. That's
It was
crazy.
funny. I've
Wow.
never had that happen before.
Yeah, I have never. I had it happen once. I had it happen in Germany last year at the Colts game. Somebody recognized me from the podcast. They go, "Thomas." I'm like, "Who are you?" It was a guy from Switzerland, but that
Oh
was the
my
one time.
god.
Yeah, that was pretty humbling. But it's like, oh my God, it's scary. I don't know who these people like. I do that
Right?
stuff. I recognize somebody at the store. I go, "Oh my God, I know who you are." That's crazy.
Yeah, so it was with everything that happened with Noe last night, we were joking about how I might need protection.
Oh, come
And then that
on.
happened, and I'm like, oh my god.
We'll handle him. He ain't nobody. Don't worry.
And then we were laughing like, throw down by the produce section.
Jesus.
And oh, it was funny. Melissa, I'm here to do on vacation and to do a little bit of work. So I'm here. So I'm, like I said, I'm going to end up at the Monon High Trail, and I'm going to end up in Tipton. And I would actually like to go to Florida too and see. I
Yeah.
know I haven't been there
What
since
day? What day you head back home?
Friday.
Shit, I go back to work on Tuesday. Well, or Wednesday. Sorry, Wednesday, not Tuesday. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
I'm
But
off
I want to
tomorrow.
go by the house where Florida where, because I haven't been there since they torn it down.
It's gone now. Yeah.
So, just go to each place, pay my respects like I always do. Try not to get thrown in jail in some places.
Yeah. Don't do that.
I try not to. But
Anyway. Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and I got 15 minutes until me and Mark are supposed to go. I don't even know what we're doing. But Marv, thank you for having me. I love talking to you guys always. Um, if you're still on later, I'll come back on or whatever. But Love talking
Actually,
to you guys.
I'm gonna get off of here and I'm gonna come over by you guys and watch.
Yeah, if you're more than welcome to join. If you
Okay.
I don't know what's going on, but we're just gonna go there. We're gonna talk. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna talk about whatever we want to talk about. So
Yeah, that's
thank you
kind of
guys.
what tonight was about for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll hand this over to Marv and let her wrap up. And thank you guys for allowing me in so humbly and letting me hang out with you guys. Love you all to death.
Absolutely.
Andrea, thank you for the shirts. Andrea's making my Tommy Frost upside down pizza shirts, which I only have one. I got to order one myself. I know Ashley Schaefer wanted one, so we'll get that done. I think we got another week. So thank you so much. I will see you guys in about 15 minutes.
Okay. True crime. Hey, since you're there, coordinate to film on location. Okay, get a hold of me. I'm here. I'm going to Delphi on Thursday. So, but yeah, thanks guys for my first night back on YouTube in a couple weeks and coming and chatting and listening to Frosty and I, and thank you Frosty for joining me. Thank you Melissa for being a member. As soon as I get back home, I'm gonna start the member chats back up. So Carrie, thank you once again for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. And thanks, Miss Persevere. I'm definitely feeling much better. Happy to have that all gone. So, yeah, thanks for joining me. Like I said, I'm probably going to do a live from Tipton here this week, and maybe from Flora and maybe from the Monon High Bridge. So, and then once I get back home, I will start in on all the stories that I've been researching and getting prepared for to get out to all of you guys. So thanks for joining me. Go watch Fire and Ice. They're coming up next. And to all of those who have been live with me, hit that thumbs up button. Thank you for all your comments in the chat. And for those of you who will be watching the restream, the replay, also hit that thumbs up button and comment down below. And think about becoming a member, because we're going to start member only coverage next week when I get back home. So glad to see all of you. I missed you. And I'll see you soon. Have a good night. Bye.